All right, so yes, we just got some very big news today about updates coming to the current existing Night Lords. Yes, we're going to be getting enhanced versions of the current Night Lords. And guess what? For those of you begging for duos, it's actually going to be happening. FromSoft is listening, and these updates are going to be happening sooner than you might think, and they're going to be starting this month. We're going to get into the details in just a moment. Plus, I am going to go over some really cool tips that you might not know about, and also feedback from the community, some things that we still want to see updated. So yes, check this out. Here is where the beginning of the post starts. So this is official. On the dawn of the 5th day, 3.5 million Nightfarers took up arms against the Night in Elden Ring Nightreign. We are ever grateful for your passion. A huge number and milestone right there, and still to this day, it's going very strong. But this right here caught everyone's attention. Check it out right here. But the night is far from over. In addition to the DLC releasing later this year, new additions will be gradually implemented, including enhanced fights against existing Night Lords starting this month, as well as duo expeditions at a later date. Thank you for your support. I do wish that I had more details about when duo expeditions will be launching at a later date, but hey, now you know officially this is going to be happening, and it's great to see that FromSoft is so on it about really reacting to what the community wants. This is a great sign for a multiplayer-centric game that a lot of you guys really want to see to have a long life, longevity, and it requires updates from the dev team, and that's what we're currently seeing right now. So I think this bodes very well. Now, this was also spotted out on the subreddit. Check it out. Holy shit. Harder versions of the night bosses. That is why there is third phase OST that doesn't play in game. It was for these versions. You can go and listen to these versions on YouTube. Just search up the OSTs if anyone is wondering. So hell yes, this is definitely happening. We have some teases there. And of course, the official response from the dev team themselves. And someone also noted, yep, and the reasons there are unused Dark Knight relics for the bosses as well. So yeah, it looks like you're going to want to take advantage of certain relics against these new variations of these existing bosses, of course. Now, it would be exciting if we got news about brand new bosses, which I do think that eventually we'll work our way to that. But I know a lot of you guys are going to be very excited for additional challenge here. And someone even said, Arc-Tempered Night Lords, let's go, hell yes. But it led me into this post right here, and please, by all means, give me your take about this one, because it looks like FromSoft is really reading over your comments, suggestions, and that sort of thing. But check it out. It says, I want more recycled bosses, and I'm not joking. And this caught my attention because it had 1,200 upvotes. Check it out. It says, a criticism I see sometimes is all the reused bosses in Nightreign. I am the complete opposite. I love seeing returning bosses from other games, and I need more. Like a new camp boss could be Chaos Witch Quelaag from Dark Souls 1, or Night 2 could have more bosses like Sanctuary Guardian or Knight Atarius. Seriously, to see these old bosses in the new engine is such an opportunity. I'm disappointed they didn't capitalize on this. Really hope to see more recycled bosses outside of Elden Ring. And we did have some other responses here saying, honestly, yeah, I don't know how big the boss pool is supposed to be, but 13 of my 15 Gladius runs had Bell-Bearing Hunter as the Night 1 boss. The other two were the duo fight with Yoda and Demi-Human Queen. The only boss I've gotten on Night 2 is the Fell Omen. It feels like something under the hood is broken if there's supposed to be more than those 3 bosses for Gladius. Let me know if you guys are experiencing the same thing or not, but it would be cool to see kind of like old nostalgic bosses return for sure. That would be very cool. And I think a lot of the community would be super hyped to see like returning bosses from Dark Souls. And I know I have mentioned Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne might be a stretch, of course, but damn, that would be really cool to also see something like that as well. Now, we also have some opinions about this one. Check it out. Love the game, but wish the augments were crazier. And you can see kind of the disappointed face here. It says, I'm really enjoying the game, even when I'm stuck playing with randoms. My friends don't want to touch it. But honestly, I feel like the random augments could be way more wild. Like, imagine getting stuff like plus 30% attack speed, triple jump, or bonus damage while walking or doing random stuff. Just more over the top and creative options. It's fun as it is. Don't get me wrong, but it could be so much more fun with crazier and more impactful augments. Feels like there's a lot of untapped potential. What do you all think? And maybe, just maybe, they will lean into this more, because there was yet another post that kind of, matched this sentiment, saying, for a roguelike, the absence of cool game-breaking effects is really unfortunate. Half the fun of this genre is getting a perfect loadout and just stomping the stage boss so hard it's not even close, or at least having the chance to get something like that. All of the effects in Nightreign are so tame. Increased charge attack damage plus 10%, resistance up plus 57, increased Estus healing by 30%. Am I supposed to be excited to take these boring options? Where's the actually cool shit like faster basic attack swings plus X%, or after charge attacking, call down a rain of lightning, etc.? That'd be really cool. They should have been way more adventurous with the bonuses. And who knows, given that you guys are so vocal about this and currently how they're responding about things, maybe, just maybe, they will look into this sort of thing for future content drops and DLC. Now, when it comes to this sort of thing, we do know that we will be getting new characters. I would imagine new bosses, hopefully map updates. But you do gotta wonder what content should be free, what content would be paid. That's the big question. I leave it to you guys. How do you think they should handle that going forward? Because I've always said that the main core content should be free, and then perhaps like cosmetics should be the paid stuff to really support like upcoming DLC, as to keep the community together. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens with that one. But let's get into some of the more advanced tips, some of the things that you might not know about with, of course, Elden Ring Nightreign. Check it out right here. PSA, go into the crater. Free legendary. Now, if you go deep into the crater, there is an altar that allows you to upgrade one weapon to legendary for free. Go into the crater every game when it's up on night 2. Spread the word. It's currently very hard to teach this in-game with no comms. The crater only shows up after you complete the first expedition. So the more you know, do not neglect that advice. Also, we have more advice here for all fellow Iron Eyes out there. Don't forget that your ultimate goes through terrain. And this is an example right here as to how you can actually utilize this. Because if you do have someone that goes down here, you can see in the clip that yes, you can actually shoot through terrain to actually revive your buddy. So yeah, that's something that you can actually do. But I say, you know what, try to stick together as much as possible. That's how I usually try to play the game. But I do understand if you do need to roam a little bit. So I do get that can be super useful. But a lot of you guys might not realize this either. So check this out. And I don't know how useful this advice will actually be. PSA, Sites of Grace can revive you. And there was some like controversy about this one, by the way. Some people say that just outright doesn't work, that the grace actually extinguishes over time. But it was also noted the grace healing only triggers when you enter its radius. You've got to crawl back into the radius for it to trigger again. So yeah, that's also super important to know. I have yet to really test it out myself and to see how it works exactly. But again, you don't really find like that sort of thing in a core boss battle, so it might not be super helpful, but never know, you might go down next to one of those things. You might want to try it out for yourself. All right, so yes, now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. And if you are new, welcome aboard. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button and join the OWG family. Would love to have you guys here. And yes, you guys can stay up to date on all things Elden Ring Nightreign and some other cool stuff. But let's get into your top comments. So we have this one first and foremost right here. We only need 3 things: duo expeditions, crossplay, microphone comms when playing randoms. We have one of those things coming. No confirmation about crossplay. That's the big one that I also really want to see. I think it would help the longevity of this game big time, as we might see the player base, the player numbers, of course, kind of mellow out. And that would be super helpful when that starts to happen. Microphone comms would be cool, but we also need some sort of way to communicate through like chat, just to simply pull that up and say, hey, go to the crater. There is, the option to take your weapon and turn it into a legendary for free. See, that sort of advice is huge through simple chat system. All right, next up, we have this one right here. I think people want to go in and win every time, but that's literally not how roguelites are supposed to be. It's supposed to be a perfect storm of RNG and skill that gets you the win. 502 upvotes right there. Yeah, sometimes you get unlucky, by the way, with the RNG. And if you could win through that, then you're really testing your skill big time. And that's also super rewarding in my opinion. And we got this one right here. An endless mode would be really cool to see. So perhaps like, I don't know, like a horde type mode would be interesting, where it's just waves and waves of enemies and it gets tougher and tougher. Perhaps you're facing off against two bosses at the same time. Man, that could be actually legit something very, very cool if they decide to add it to the game. All right, we have infinite potential if we get true randomized bosses for runs alongside more random map customization, especially with the center castle. Couldn't agree more. I am crossing my fingers that they have some sort of secret roadmap that they're looking to that has a lot of updates on it in regards to, you know, randomizing this map, also future bosses, and yes, we are going to be getting, at least, you know, the new characters have been confirmed as well, but we'll see who those new characters end up being. But anyway, there it is, the latest happenings around Elden Ring Nightreign. Thank you guys so much for love and support on the recent videos. I greatly appreciate it. Excited for the brand new updates coming up here. Can't wait to see what we get going forward. I'll keep you guys in the know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.